Thanks for coming to my talk. This is very exciting. Wow. Okay. My name is Josh, as Hannah said. I have a slide about this. Yes, this is me. I made games. Hannah said everything already. Okay. Let me set the stage. Maybe if you've been around the platform for a while, you know about these games. These are tycoons. We call them tycoons, but they are not tycoons in the conventional sense. They're games with conveyor belts that drop little parts on them, and then they touch a thing and you get money. You just stand around and you earn money. Yeah. It's very strange. This has been a bizarre staple genre for a very long time. It's still kind of a thing. Very bizarre. But here's me in 2008, I think, and this seems like a weird thing. Like, why can't I just stand and earn money passively? I want to make a tycoon game where you, like, do stuff to earn money. So this is Lumber Tycoon 1, 2008. Thank you, I guess. So this is my first attempt to address this problem. And it worked okay. It was well received. And indeed, you did have to do things to earn money. If you stood and did nothing, then nothing would happen. But still, not super fun to me. There's not really any consequential player choices. The upgrades are all very linear. Everything's decided for you. Not super exciting. I guess good for the time. But let's fast forward to 2015, and I get an opportunity to do the very first incubator program at Roblox, which was very, very exciting. And I decide I'm going to try once again to tackle this problem. Lumber Tycoon 2, the sequel, yes, which is what I'm talking about right now. So in my second attempt, I want to ditch this linear upgrade path with the buttons on the floor and everything, and try to make something a little more modern, and something that can really empower players to be creative, to make solutions to their problems in whatever ways they want. So in this talk, I'm going to talk about the design process of this game, what I was thinking when I was figuring out what I wanted to do, and a little of a retro on what worked and what did not. So first thing I did is set some goals. Goals are useful to set at the start of a project so that you can keep yourself focused, make sure you know what you're actually chasing after. So the first goal, make a game I want to play. It's a pretty not very interesting goal. This could be applied to anything. So to make this more actionable, I would translate that to a creative experience. Because for me, the games I enjoy most tend to be creative experiences in some way. You're building stuff or you're finding creative solutions to problems. Second goal, same thing, very generic goal, make a game other people want to play. But to make that more specific, I would say, once again, a refinement on this Roblox tycoon genre thing and try to make the next generation of an engaging tycoon. Third goal, make money. All right. So, design. All right, let's talk about it. So this is kind of ripped from the slide deck that we originally made in this incubator program, and Sorkis told us, you're going to make this slide deck, and you're going to present this concept, and we're going to greenlight it or not. And if not, then we're going to force you to work with somebody else on another game. So these are tense presentations. But anyway, my first inspiration was RuneScape. And specifically, I was inspired by how it executes on progression through physical space. Lots of games do this, but I chose this. So the world starts out seeming very large for new players, and then as you progress, access to the world expands, and you get money, and you're able to pay tolls to get through new places. So I thought this was cool. I wanted to make a similarly large world that as you progress through the game, you get access to more trees, more whatever. Yeah. Second inspiration is Minecraft. This is 2015, And what I'm inspired about from Minecraft is, so at this time, Minecraft is a very strange game because it's super highly retentive, but entirely non-objective gameplay. There's not really anything to do in Minecraft, but people love it. And I love that. I want to make something that people just love to play in, and there's not really hard goals that you're trying to push them towards. Third inspiration, this was the most helpful. I did a little case study on Pizza Place. So I actually went into this game and interviewed players and tried to figure out what made this game work. And I actually learned some really great things. So it seemed like the major retention factor was this really good house building system. And the entire rest of the game is in support of this house project. So you're working at the pizza place to earn income and make money to build your house. It's really all about the house. And the house is a long-term project you're coming back to at every play session. It's a form of creative expression. And I came up with a little bit of a hypothesis here about this. And I'm thinking that what's key here is probably that what the house is a canvas for creative expression, and if you can give players that, then that will retain them. It's all about letting them express. And the other thing about this that was interesting that I observed is it seems like that there's this interesting social motivation happening where new players will see the super cool houses from the veteran players, and that will motivate them to stay in the game and work hard to get to the same level, and then that cycle perpetuates for a long time, and that keeps people in the game. So social motivation, creative projects, I think this is cool. I want to make a game where players similarly can build stuff and be inspired by each other. Okay, that's inspiration. Next, pillars. This is another thing that we were instructed to set up as a part of the incubator program, and this ended up being very helpful. So for my first pillar, empower creativity. So, if you don't know about pillars, it's basically like central core ideas that your whole game comes back to. So everything in your game should be in support of these central ideas. So for me, empower creativity. Want to make a game where players can build whatever they want. And again, back to my goal, I want to make a creative game. And similar to Pizza Place, if it's visible to other players, then it generates this social motivation thing. And the other thing, if I make a creative game, then if players are making their own content, then I don't have to update the game as much. Huh? Nice. Okay. And second is, personally, I am a big believer in high engagement, really fun interaction, emergent behaviors coming out of heavy use of physics. Just totally embrace it and see what cool things happen. So there's lots of interesting derivatives of this pillar. So for example, in conventional resource collecting gameplay, you might punch a tree, collect units of material, which you can collect into your inventory, and it goes into these slots, and then you can convert it into other items, and you can use it to make stuff. This is how most games do resource collection and material management. So I'm thinking about physics. I'm thinking, what if instead of that, when there's a tree, what if when you chop down a tree, instead you just get a tree that's on the ground? Then what do? You gotta drag it somewhere or something. So I don't know why I wanted to do this. It's a thing that I hadn't really seen around, and I kind of just wanted to see what would happen. But it led to a lot of really interesting things because there's a lot of emergent challenges that come up. How do you chop down a tree in the most efficient way and pack it into your truck? and fit it into the sawmills and fit it into these other things. And it's cool that there's a preservation of your physical intuition. You don't need a tutorial for this. Players intuitively understand the gameplay because it's based on these familiar physical processes. So, and the other thing is that there's also like no inventory at all. You buy stuff like physically in the store by dragging it to a counter and then taking it out of the box, and then you've got to put it in your truck and take it to your base, and you can like put it somewhere, but you don't like have an inventory for it to disappear into. So this is kind of an extreme embrace of this fearless use of physics idea, but I really wanted to see what would happen. So what did happen? So to assess my success, let's go through each of my goals and see how did I attempt to achieve it and was I successful. So goal 1 was make a game I want to play. This is a thing that I made. It's a little trap, and I say free Robux, and I get them to go inside, and then they step on a pressure plate, which, yeah. And then I steal their axes. This is cool. I did have fun making this. I like how creative the game is, how much you can do in it. But, okay, I have a little confession to make about this. I may have cheated to get all the materials to build this thing. I might have hacked them in. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, me personally, I have very low patience for, I do not like playing games. It's way too grindy for me. Even for, I don't know, I think it's too grindy in general, especially for me. So I'm going to call this, sorry, unsuccessful. Next goal, make a game other people want to play. That's what really matters. And I think this one, well, let's see. Let me show you a few things people have made. This is a super rad tree house with a dragon and house and things going on. Here's some tweets people have sent me. Helicopters and big buildings. This is like a galleon. Here's a video from Zenak of him showing his technique for the most efficient way to pack your truck full of lava wood, and he got these massive stacks. Wild. There's a bridge that you can pay a toll. No, not door. There's a bridge that you can pay a toll, and it'll lower the bridge, and you can cross it. But this guy's like, well, I don't want to do that, so I'm going to cut up some really long planks and put it across the bridge and drive across it. Okay. Emergent physical behavior. I love it. This man made a working bowling alley with a ball return. This is a functional game of tic-tac-toe that uses the wiring system and buttons to handle user input, and it has wind detection and turns, and this is quite wild. This man made a CPU. I don't know, dude. This is a game of Monopoly that's made in Lumber Tycoon and is lumber themed, and I played it with the guy who made it, and it was like an 8-hour game over 2 days, but it was super fun. The dice is, did you see the, you drop a ball and then he has a wire that it kind of randomly falls into different quadrants. Yeah, I think that, sorry. Oh, it's not, okay, oops, sorry. I had metrics in my notes, but there they are. 400 million people played the game, 87% thumbs up. I would call this a successful one. Goal 3, make money. So my monetization was not super aggressive. It was pretty much pay to accelerate. You can pay to get money, and it helps alleviate the grind a bit. And it also keeps all the content free to all the players who don't want to pay, which is a little bit nice. Not the most optimized, but it works well enough for me. I'm doing fine. This is successful. And, okay. So some of the biggest takeaways, closing points. I think taking the time to think about these pillars at the very beginning to keep me focused was super, super helpful, like really huge. And another thing is that hypothesis from work at a pizza place on the importance of creativity in a game. I've refined that. I think that what that really is touching on is a deeper importance of empowering players to self-express. So it can take many forms. In Lumber Tycoon and Pizza Place, it's building a house, building cool things. But in other games, it's just like Meep City, dressing up your avatar, whatever. Games like Jailbreak, it's just general freedom, ability to do anything. Self-expression can have so many forms. And I think that is like ultimately one of the most important things for players to really enjoy a game deeply. That's pretty much it. Any Yes. Questions? Hello. 10 minutes for questions. Kevin.
When you were making this, did you have to research any real-world examples of the lumber industry?
No.
So this is not actually how it works in the real world?
I don't think it is. I'm not sure. Maybe
could have fooled me.
Yeah. Jackson.
So, with all the things that you've learned from this, what are you doing next, and how are you going to apply these learnings?
What am I doing next? Yes, I love it. I'm still very much about building creative experiences where players can build their next things. My next game, coming soon, is another... I don't know. It's another building adventure game on a larger scale, much better building tools, much more exciting resource collection mechanics. I think it'll be good. Stay tuned. Any other questions?
Hi, Josh. Do you think back here? Hello. So you talked a bit about like just like physics and like the importance of that like system. That system also has like a lot of chaos. There's a lot of like unpredictability in that. Do you think that like that chaos was important to the way that people experience your game?
Important. So there is a lot of chaos. I don't know if it's important. Like if the physics system was totally stable, it would still be a fine game, but chaos certainly does add a lot of excitement, doesn't it? I think it's a good thing. I think it's exciting. Do you want me Doorbridge? Jackson is obsessed with Doorbridge. Doorbridge is a thing where you place doors on top of each other, and then because of the way they weld, when you open one door, all the other doors stick to it. So people would stack doors vertically and then open the door, and they would all fall down. And then they would make a bridge they could drive across to get to islands that they're not supposed to get to. Okay, next, anything?
Was there anything that you like created or took away specifically from the game that just to appeal to the people that make the really intensive stuff, such as like the CPU that you mentioned earlier?
Anything I did what to the game? What was
like anything that you like added, taken away, just to appeal to these players that make the really insane creations.
To appeal to the power players?
Yes.
Okay. There was a YouTuber who was like, "Can we have like a creative mode or something?" And I was like, "No, but maybe I can do something." I did add this like mysterious guy in a cave that's like impossible to find. But if you do find him and you pay him like $20 million, then he will give you the ability to like build stuff with like 1 unit of wood instead of how much wood it actually takes. So you can build stuff faster. David.
Hi, Josh.
Hello.
Just because I think it's one of the most fascinating things you did with Lumber Tycoon 2, can you please describe the process of acquiring Bold and Brash by Squidward Tentacles?
Are you kidding?
And the motivations behind that?
Okay, I'll try to be brief, but Bold and Brash. Okay. So this is I didn't talk about this very much, but there's also lots of little like quests and little adventures we sprinkled in here. Bold and Brash is one of the most exciting ones. So sometime in like October or November, there appeared a, I don't know how people find out about this, but if you put some dynamite next to a rock, then it'll blow away, and there's a little cave, and you go into here, and it says in very faint letters above a like stone door, "Deliver my sight." And nobody knows what this means. And there's 2 lava pits right next to it. So people are like throwing stuff into these pits to try and open the door, and it's not working. And then fast forward to December, Christmas gifts come out. One of the gifts is called the Big Gift, and it's a like Russian nesting doll gift where you open it, it's a big box with a number on it. And every time you open it again, it gets smaller and maybe changes color. And it's a number like 1 through 25. And the colors are deterministic based on the numbers. And if you map out for example, if you have a 5 by 5 square and you fill in the colors of the box, and then you put all 25 of those boxes in a grid, then it makes a picture of my face. And if you take the boxes that are the numbers that are the pupils of my eyes, and you put them in the lava pits, then it opens this stone door, and there is Bold and Brash by Squidward Tentacles. Any other questions? Crazy Blocks.
Hi, yeah,
Hello.
that's me. So, you had emergent behavior with the door bridge and people avoiding the toll to get past. Was there any other behavior which showed up from players that you weren't anticipating, which were potentially too far or game-breaking, anything like that?
Probably. Okay, sure. So for another mysterious quest, if you put an eye into the little hole, the little talking port in the toll booth, then the bridge, instead of going up, it'll go down into the ocean, and then the ocean will open into a big cave, and it'll drop you into a cave. And I tried to convert that bridge into like prismatic constraints, and it didn't work, and players would just load onto it and lower the bridge, and I didn't want that to happen, so I fixed that.
Nice.
Questions? Quenty.
Can you talk about the color pink in your game?
I love the color pink. I like the color pink because I like it as a like color that has existing associations, and then like you can take it and turn it into something else and see if you can like break those associations. Like see what happens if we can make pink not a feminine color, but like a color that represents something else. And in my game, I make like very rare and exciting items pink, and people don't think it's feminine at all, and I think that's interesting. 2 minutes, more questions. Chris, cranky.
Hello. So for those that are working on simulator games, how do you think they could allow their players to express their creativity in those games?
What is a simulator game?
Linear progression.
You mean the genre on Roblox simulator games?
Yeah.
I don't know, they're not very creative at all, are they?
But
What do you do? It's not a bad thing. If you want to make a simulator game, that's fine. I don't think I'm not going to play it.
thank you, that answered my question.
But that's good. No, that's great because that means that there's a window. If you want to make a simulator game, there's room to expand this genre. That's what I saw originally with Tycoons. There's like an opportunity to make this genre better. So think about it, and maybe you can make that game. One more question?
One more question.
Anyone?
Hello.
Pereza?
Josh.
Over here.
It is the Gusmanac.
Gus.
I'm over here.
Gus.
I wanted to ask what was a technical challenge that you encountered maybe with the Roblox engine while you were developing Lumber Tycoon 2?
I'm sure many, but Major one? Was there one? You were there when I was making this game. Do you remember? Are you trying to get me to say something? I can't think of anything specific, to be honest, on the top of my head. Cars were okay, I think. Oh, network ownership was like a new thing when Lumber Tycoon was happening. You needed to explicitly set network ownership for stuff in the back of your vehicle so you could drive it. That wasn't really a challenge because the API came out and it was okay. It worked.